What to the American slave is your 4th of July? This is a quote by Frederick Douglass, okay? And it sounds off during our time, okay, in a big way, okay? To what to the American slave is your 4th of July, okay? All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rekakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. All right. So I'm going to read his speech that he gave for the 4th of July. Okay. All right. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty an unholy license, your national greatness swelling vanity, your sound of rejoicing is empty and heartless, your denunciation of tyrants brass-fronted impudence, your shouts of liberty and equality hollow mockery, your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. All right? And that's what they are. Okay? Biblically, they are the biblical Edomites, the wicked, the devil, according to the Bible. All right? Okay? So let's get into it. Let me play a video real quick.
We're going to have great pride. We're going to have great pride. I think we do have great pride. I think we have more pride and more spirit in our country right now than we've had in 50 years.
Psalms 73 and verses 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than a heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how does the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then understood I their end. All right? So this is how we felt until we came into this truth, okay? Until you come into the truth, all right, into the sanctuary of the Most High, become a Hebrew Israelite, become converted, okay? You don't know what in the hell is going on, okay? All right? You just submit to them being in rule. But we know that their rulership has an end, okay? We have the pleasure of knowing that. Okay, verse 17 again, until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Okay, the prophets told us what their end would be. Then understood I their end. Okay. Verse 18, surely thou didst sit them in slippery places, thou castest them down into destruction. How art they brought into desolation, as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors. Okay, and this is going to come with an Armageddon. All right, the Lord is going to allow the other nations to launch missiles, and at Yahweh's return, okay, during these times, to deliver his elect from this destruction, they will be totally wiped out. Okay, that's their end. So these devils are proud. Okay, and the Lord hates the proud, the prideful. Okay, so that's what all this 4th of July celebration is all about. Okay, all right, let's go to Psalms 10. Psalms chapter 10. All right, and it reads, Psalms 10:1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? We're in that time of trouble, Jacob's trouble right now. The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. They have devised alligator Alcatraz. All right, and now the huge one to totally enslave everyone. They've come out with this big, beautiful bill. That's coming up against us, okay? We're going to have to deal with the legislation of these encampments, these prisons that they're setting up all over America, okay? And they're not just for the Northern Kingdom, these Latinos, they're also for the Negroes as well. We see now they're coming against the Haitians, okay? They would be of the southern tribe of Israel, okay? All right? So that's the devices that they're coming with, all right? Why? Because we're at the end, okay? They know, the devil knows, and that's another title for these so-called Edomites on earth, these so-called white people, all right? All right, so verse 2 again, the wicked in his pride, okay, all right, as Trump was speaking on, all right, at the rally in Iowa, I think yesterday, July 3rd, all right, today is the 4th when I'm making this lesson. The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Okay, and so that's what we pray. For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire and blesses the covetous whom the Lord abhors. Okay, he covets fields and lands and takes them by violence. Okay, the Lord abhors this. Okay, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Okay, these the draconian laws that they're bringing forth. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Okay, all right, because he has this great army that he can take down nations with. Okay, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait, secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Okay, so that is what has happened. Okay, he drew those Latinos in through this election. All right, they thought they were equal to they thought they was equal to the so-called white man, but they found out that they're just as hated as we are, the so-called Negro. Okay, and that's because they are the Israelites of the Bible. So the Lord is bringing them into judgment, all right, by deporting them out of here. All right, and the devil is coming down with great wrath. All right, we're at that time in prophecy. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay. Ecclesiastes 9 and verses 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. And that is what has happened to the northern kingdom. And that is really what has happened to America, Babylon the Great. All right, they're coming down with great wrath on this nation. Okay. All right, they're taking away all benefits. Okay. And they're coming in with a new world order ran by billionaires. Okay? All right, so we're literally going to be in a real life Hunger Games before you know it. All right? So to the slave, what is 4th of July? It's a total mockery to us, okay, and our forefathers. All right? Okay. Let's go to Proverbs 8 and 13. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate. That's what the Lord hates. All right? And you can see how prideful Esau Edom is. Okay? All right? Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Let's go to Psalms 55 and 19. The Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. So what you got to understand is the wicked Esau Edom have no changes. They have not changed. Okay, 1776, they were the same people then, and the same people now. Okay, and let's go through what it was like for the slave, our ancestors. All right, in 1776, how was it for enslaved people? You know, let's see if they have changed. All right, these Edomites, the so-called white man. All right, so 90% of the African Americans were enslaved. Roughly 500,000 lived in 13 colonies in 1776, and about 90% were enslaved. They were forced to work on plantations, especially in the South, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, growing crops like tobacco, rice, indigo, and cotton. Others labored in households, shipyards, blacksmith shops, or construction. Some enslaved people tried to escape during the chaos. So what is it for our ancestors? It was horrible. It was terrible. All right. And this celebrating this is a absolute mockery. So, all right. Back to Psalms 55. Okay, again, and 19. The Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. All the treaties he broke with the natives of the land. All right. Promised 40 acres and a mule and freedom and all that. As soon as they set them free, they were trying to enslave him again. Okay, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. So the scriptures tell us to never trust our enemy. All right, let's go to Sirach 12 and 10. And it reads, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last. Remember my words, and be pricked therewith. And this is coming from our forefathers. Okay. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So these are words coming from our forefathers, all right, to understand, okay, the scriptures outline who our enemies are in Psalms chapter 83, all right, just read that, okay, and they as we read in Psalms chapter 55 in verses 19, let's see here. Yeah, verse 19, the Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. So they continue to oppress the children of Israel, okay, as they've always done for thousands of years. All right, Jeremiah chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. And it reads, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So let me let you see if they've changed any. All right.
If Trump snatch up, say 100, if Trump snatch up, say 100 African Americans and deport them to Sudan or Libya or Nicaragua or El Salvador or wherever, those people are gone. They're out of the country. They're God knows wherever. And so let's say one of their family members file a lawsuit on their behalf. And let's say they successfully get an injunction from the judge. Well, it used to be, before this case, that the judge could say, basically, you got to return all 100 of these African Americans because you unlawfully deported them. But now, with this case, the judge could only say you got to bring that one person back. And the other 99, although it's unlawful, he cannot prohibit that unless they do a class action lawsuit. And people, class action lawsuits can take months, if not years, to get certified. So those other 99 African American people could be over there lingering, rotten in some jail or whatever, while their cases matriculates through the court system. It's almost like saying you can't kill that man after you done shot him. Listen, this court case essentially said to judges, you cannot issue nationwide injunctions except for certified class action lawsuits, even if what he is doing is unlawful. So if you phrase the question this way, can Trump lawfully deport African Americans? The answer is clearly no. But that's not the question. The question is, can he deport African Americans even if it's unlawful? The answer to that question is yes, because there's nobody to stop him anymore. All right, I want that to be clear. This is not just about immigrants. This is not just about Latinos. This case went far beyond immigration. I hope I'm making this clear. This is not just about immigrants. This is not just about Latino immigrants. This case went far beyond immigration. It basically, at this point, jeopardizes all of our rights. All of them. Now, I'm going to take you to the case and I'm going to show you that. So Amy Coney Barrett, Justice Barrett, wrote the case for the majority. And she said that judges could no longer issue nationwide injunctions, even if what Trump is doing is unlawful.